Church of Hartford. My name is Reverend Nancy Baseel. I'm the pastor of this church, and I think I know all of you. I'm so happy you're here to celebrate with us today, and I just wanted to share a few opening remarks as we begin this time of celebration of this beautiful, amazing mural. Let us all take a moment to behold the wonder of this wall to my left. It wraps all the way around our building. It is an act of love and art that will beautify our city for years to come. And so we gathered today to celebrate many elements of this painting. First of all, this mural is called Bloomin Strawberries. It was painted by Tao LaBossiere, his wife Amy, Gann, and Dwight Teal, all people who participated in the execution of Tao and Amy's original version. Bloomin Strawberries has, in the end, been a reflection of life and art speaking to each other. In 2020, when I was called to be the pastor of this church, I remember how a few people looked at this blank white brick wall and wondered what else might occupy this space. We always noticed how this wall was not consonant with this wall, a granite and brownstone building built hundreds of years before this brick addition was built. We wondered together about how we might better reflect our church's goals, how we might better reflect our church's values, the vibrancy we feel in our hearts, and how we might be more consonant with our neighbors and offer a little bit of joy to anybody who walked by. So what happened is that a team gathered together to start dreaming up what might happen on this wall. And we pulled in Matt Conway, the founder and executive director of RiseUp for the Arts, who met with our mural enthusiasts to start dreaming and planning. RiseUp got us started. They helped us to find our muralist. And we ended up working with the art of Tao LaBossiere, Tao and Amy, who helped to envision this beautiful piece of art that you're now standing in front of. Bloomin Strawberries is a meditation. It is a meditation on our church's Strawberry Festival. Have you all had the strawberry shortcake? Yeah. It's that good, right? And in a moment, we'll hear from Tom McNeill, a longtime member of this church who was part of bringing the Strawberry Festival to this church. When Tao and Amy pitched their idea, they spoke of a place that is blooming and growing. A place where there is vibrancy in nature and nurture, where there is diversity on a patch of earth, where folks can fly in, be nourished, and fly out, where they might share the abundance they find here at every age and stage of life. Look at some of the details. We have pollinators in this mural. There are bees and blessing moths. We have strawberries that are brand new on the vine and strawberries that are ripe at the fullness of their lives. We have roots that symbolize where they've come from. We have rainbows reflected in droplets of water, a sign of our love for all God's people. This is a meditation on who we are and who we might yet be. So many people contributed to this mural. If you are one of them, raise your hand so we can all clap for you. You contributed with your funds, with your time, with your dedication. There was an entire mural team who worked together. Dana Barcelos-Allen, where are you at? Over here. And Annalika Shower, and Anita Marchant, and our youngest mural member, Nita Rana, and Karina Tamburini. For 2 years, you worked to make this happen. And when you met Tao and Amy, you too fell in love with their vision and what they would do. When we lost Tao last summer, we wondered what might yet be. We grieved together and we took time. And what ended up happening was that when the time was right, Amy helped connect us to yet another vision, that of the work of Gann, the artist who completed the mural with support from Dwight Teal. Chris Gann is here today also to share about his experience of painting this mural. So I would like to thank Tao to honor his memory and his vision, and Amy and Chris for their work as the artists of this whole project. Our church raised $18,000 towards this mural. We did so through the generous gifts of the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, who's here today to speak to us as well. Representative is here today to speak as well. We applied for the Love Your Block grant and you granted it to us. We thank you. The Bushnell Performing Arts Center, represented today by CEO David Fay, is in the house. We thank you for your contributions to this mural and to our vision for our neighborhood. And I want to extend a warm gratitude to the members of the session of this church, people who are behind the scenes running this place, my bosses, who are the session that made the decision to support this vision. Thank you to the session of First Presbyterian Church of Hartford. Friends, whether you are a friend of this church, a member of this church, or you're here for the first time today, may you be part of what we are trying to do, which is to bring love, justice, mercy, and grace to our neighborhood. This is a visual interpretation of our hope, and our plan is that we bind together as an ecosystem to do this in the city of Hartford. I'd like to invite the Honorable Mayor Arunan Arulampalam to come forward at this time to share some remarks for us this afternoon.
Thank you, Reverend Nancy. Thank you to all the First Presbyterian family who are here, and for all the South Downtown folks who are here. This is a really special church. It is a church that opens its doors to the community. It is a church that is a significant pillar in this community. It's also a church that is happens to be on my drive home every day. It's halfway between City Hall and my home in Frog Hollow. And so as Tao was working on this mural, I got to see it every single day on my first summer as mayor of this capital city. And it, to me, was an indication of the very best of our city. A city that re-envisions itself, reimagines itself, that sees beauty and art in every person, in every place, in every corner. And Amy, I just want to say thank you for sharing Tao with the city. Thank you for all of the impact the two of you have had. I, like so many of us, was just so shocked and saddened to hear of his passing, and to think about all of the impact that he is was not able to make in the years ahead. But as I look around this city, as I look around our city, what is clear is that he has left a legacy for decades that will forever change the fabric of the city, the look of the city, the way we view ourselves, and the way we view beauty in the public sphere. And thank you to Matt Conway and RiseUp, and thank you to all the other artists who are involved here. And I don't mean to ignore any of the other work going on, but Tao is just such a special person, and such a special person to the city, and it is such an honor to be here and to honor this incredible mural that gives life to a blank canvas, which really is the very best of our city. The human beings, the people who bring beauty and life to the blank canvas of the city. Thank you so much.
I'd like to invite Elder Tom McNeill to come forward at this time. As Tom is making his way forward, I'll introduce him as the man behind the Strawberry Festival. Tom had a vision for our future as a church some 30 years ago, and we'll share a little bit with you all about how this festival began.
Well, thank you, Nancy, and those of you here. This really began with a trip to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, where my in-laws live, and their church, the Westminster Presbyterian Church in Cherry Hill, had a strawberry festival, and it was quite popular there. And so I came back here, and at the time, Mark Morrison was the chairman of the outreach committee, And I suggested to Maud, I told her about what happened when I observed what took place in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And I said, maybe this could work here, because we knew that the office building across the street was full of people. And they came in too early for us to see them coming in. And by the time they left in the afternoon, the church was closed. And so we said, the outreach committee, we could try this and see if it worked. And at the time, we had the Caroline Bell working in the church. And so we started out that we said we were going to have a strawberry festival every Friday in June from like 11 to 2 o'clock. And to tell you the truth, it was so popular that by 1 o'clock, all the strawberries were gone. And to talk about few people, when I knew it was going to happen, when Maud Morrison said we were going to do something, it was, nobody stood in her way. So she was just that convincing. And unfortunately, she's no longer with us. The other persons, though, were Bill and Marion Cook. Marion with the recipe for the strawberry shortcake idea, and Bill Cook, he liked to sit at the table out front and engage with the community as people came up buying strawberries. And so it got to the point where on Friday at 11 o'clock we'd start the Caroline Bell ringing, and everybody knew across the street and at the Attorney General's office that we were open for business. So it got to the point where once people realized that we were selling out at 1 o'clock, as soon as that bell started, people came over and wanted their strawberry shortcake on Friday so they could leave for the weekend in good spirits. But an incident with Bill Cook, one year we ended the Strawberry Festival, and Bill Cook, he was fastidious in doing reports, making sure every dollar was accounted for, and he did this report totaling the receipts from the Strawberry Festival at $2,600, I think, and I was the treasurer at the time, and my report came out and it said we were $2,000. And so Bill gives me a call, and he said, "Wait a minute, we got $2,600." And I said, "No, Bill, we got $2,000." I said, "I don't count the money until I receive the bank receipt." So it took us about a week, and we realized that all the Strawberry Festival stuff had been put away for the next year, but the cash box had $600 in it that nobody had taken to the bank. So the other person was Jane Carroll. She was the one that said put just a dash of honey in the whipped cream to make it a thicker, healthier whipped cream. And I think it was one year in January, she had suffered a heart attack and was in the hospital. And I called her and I said, "Jane, you scheduled this heart attack in time so you could be back for the Strawberry Festival." And she just burst out laughing. I thought that she was laughing too hard to be in the hospital. But she was great. And then her son, who's like an international disc jockey, would come up and help us make the shortcake biscuits in our kitchen downstairs, because he was a caterer, but he was also an international disc jockey, and so he would come up to help out. And then after a few years, Shirley Dudley took over organizing the Strawberry Festival, and it just became, it's almost like it just became a very popular thing. It fit the neighborhood. We complied with the city that said we had to have a tent up to make sure things didn't fall into the Strawberry Festival. And And I remember one year we had a guest come by. He bought his strawberry shortcake, and then he proceeded to walk away, and he tripped over the sidewalk. And he came back, you know, we helped him up. He came back to the table and got another, we gave him another strawberry shortcake. And then I think he contributed like 3 times whatever we were charging for strawberry shortcake. But it's been a fun activity. People from the church have been involved, have enjoyed it, and hopefully it will continue on for many years to come. And all these people that are no longer with us, every time I see this mural, it's going to bring it back.
I'd like to invite Matt Conway to share a few words from RiseUp for the Arts.
Can everyone here just give yourselves a huge round of applause? Big one, loud, loud, loud. And the reason why I want you all to congratulate yourself is because public art is so much more than just art. It creates community, and it takes a community to come together to create such beautiful masterpieces you see all over Hartford and all over the state now. You know, one amazing thing about creating public art, and especially having artists, local artists, creating the public art in this city, is the transfer of energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed, and only transferred. And so when you have artists like Tao and Amy and Chris and Dwight who love this city so much and are putting their heart and soul into murals like this for our city, it radiates so much more than if we were bringing in, you know, some artists from Germany here or New York City. So it's been an incredible journey working with Tao and other local artists. Tao's been such a huge part of RiseUp's journey. From the very beginning, back in 2017, we started piloting our creative leadership program, and Tao was the lead artist that jumped in, rolled his sleeves up, and mentored and guided a group of students from New Vision Academy to create a masterpiece for their school. And Tao being Tao, it wasn't, you know, he wasn't just gonna paint a mural. This thing ended up being 3D, cut in all different kinds of ways, and the kids were able to participate in every single step of it. And that program is now serving over 1,000 kids a year across the entire state, thanks to Tao. And we've worked together a lot over the years, and you know, it's just such an incredible honor to be up here and asked to just speak, you know, about this project. And it's a great honor to just have a small little part in one of Tao's, you know, ending legacy projects here. You know, this again just proves when community comes together, you can make 2 + 2 = 5. And I think that's something really powerful we need to remember and keep doing, not just stopping at murals, but just radiating out into other projects and community initiatives we can do by coming together. So again, I want to thank everybody here that contributed, helped, Tao, and also Chris Gann. Taking over, sorry I'm talking more than I planned, but taking over another artist's work, especially the personal connection they had, is extremely difficult. Never mind the ego of this isn't my work. And I want you guys to know that Chris is one of those artists, no matter who calls him, what artists call him for help on a project, whether it's down in Stamford in New London, he's the guy that shows up and is helping almost every single artist get their projects done. And he's got some really incredible murals himself all across the state. So please give, you don't find someone so selfless, especially artists. trying to make a career for themselves. And every artist is their own entrepreneur. But I think the approach Chris takes helps to really grow everyone in this arts community. So thank you, Chris. Yeah. And thank you, Nancy, for everything. And I guess you will, yeah, Amy is next.
Amy, we'd love to hear a word from you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
1 year ago, this weekend, I stood at that wall over there with Tao. It was rainy and humid, not like today. And we painted stones. And he said to me, let me show you how to paint cracks and rocks and how to play with shadow and light. And I said, no, thank you. I'd just like to paint the background. You know, that's where I like to be when I worked with Tao. I'd like to support him and help him escalate his vision. And I stood there for a long time with that. If you look really closely at this mural, you could see the first 2 stones he painted. That one right there, the squarish one, and the long one right above it. He spent an hour and a half on each of those stones, and he was still gonna go back and perfect those. I have a feeling that were he still here, he'd be still painting this mural during this celebration. Little did I know a year ago that I'd be standing here without him, and with all the people that contributed to make this happen. When he passed, 2 days before he passed, we were on the other side painting some stones to kind of switch it up. We were following the sun, right? Because we didn't want to get fried. And so when we would go for the shade and stay out of the sun. So he had passed on a Wednesday. So Monday afternoon we were here and we were listening to a Mel Robbins podcast and toggling that with some Billie Eilish and painting. And he looked at me and smiled and said, this is where I want to be. That was his joy. This holds his final joy, this piece. And that means so much to me. So a couple of months, maybe not even, maybe 5 or 6 weeks after he passed, I got this feeling, reach out to Nancy, get this thing going. I could feel him saying, Amy, finish my projects. And so I thought about it. I thought about all the muralists that I know and love. Like I thought about Michaela Levesque, I thought about Michael Rice, I thought about Corey Payne, I thought about Ben Keller, I thought about these guys that RiseUp works with all the time. And I was like, you know who I thought of the most was Chris Gann. I was like, so I felt like Tao was telling me, Chris, it's gotta be Chris. Now I hadn't worked with Chris before, but I'd seen his work and I knew that energy that Matt talked about, like being willing to step in and everything. And so everything flowed together. The mural committee met him, Nancy met him, everyone, and look what he made. I mean, we had the foundations started, and Chris took the vision, and you could see elements of Chris in this mural. You could see his energy and his style. And then Dwight Teal Jr., who lives in my building at Art Space, he's a wonderful artist, and he's worked with Tao on other projects like Still Hill Brewery, painstakingly painting wood panels, and actually at Bear's Barbecue, the very first mural in 2014 that we did, the biggest one in the city that we did so far, next to this one. So Dwight, you know, I said to Chris, you know, Dwight would love to work on the mural, and so Chris scooped up Dwight, and Dwight worked on it too. So anyway, everyone, thank you. I have a lot of stories from being here working on this, from both the creation and the design, the medallions. I'd also like to thank my good friend and fabulous artist, Joey Marsace, for helping install the medallions. He did a great job with that. And lastly, I would like to, of course, thank Reverend Nancy, the mural committee, Matt for kicking us off. I'd like to, all the contributors, the congregation for trusting us with your beautiful wall. This will forever be in my heart. Thank you. I love you. Chris, would you share a word with us as well?
Thank you, Nancy. And thank you, Amy. I thank you, everybody, for showing up today. I don't know. I remember I think being in the Hartford Art Space Gallery last February, and I remember running into Tao, and I remember him asking, like whether we talked about this project, like possibly starting up. And I remember, like, I was like so excited, like I finally get to work with like this artist Tao, like we've known each other for years, but like we never really got to hang out. And I was so looking forward to working with him. And when he passed away, it was, I don't know, it's just, I guess it's part of life, it's I don't know, there's no escape from it, I guess, but I don't know, like we just, it's just such a huge honor though, to be able to work with Tao in this way. Like I felt like I was like almost communicating with his spirit in a way, and trying to match his style. Like when we were pointing at the rocks earlier, like I look at that comparison of my stone work compared to what he was doing. Like there's other parts like behind Joey over here. There's more of Tao's stones in the corner where we decided to sign our names. It's just it's heavy. I guess like on my mind. Like I'm thinking about like how am I gonna make this where it can live up to Tao's work. And I came to a point where I had to accept like my visual style. It is what it is, and I have to just trust that you made the right choice when you asked me to help out with this. And I can't thank you, Matt, for again like connecting me with these projects. And Nancy and Amy. This is my dream. I mean, like I always wanted to be an artist. Like when I was a little kid, like these guys, I would draw. Like I love how in this church you have like an interactive, like, a section in the sanctuary where kids can a playground. That's beautiful. That's awesome. That's amazing. But I mean, like I don't know, just like working in the arts. You get connected with some amazing people. So I mean, thank you, Matt, for that. Like I remember being across the street at the Soto mural, and I helped Alex Raniello paint that one, and I remember looking in this direction, not really thinking about this edition, but I guess when was it, 4 years later, here we are. And so I don't know, I can't thank you in Hartford. I love you guys. So
love you, Chris.
Thank you so much.
Cynthia Willis is here from the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving. Cynthia is the Community Impact Officer who oversees the Love Your Block grant program that heavily funded this project. Cynthia, we'd love to hear from you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. It's so special to hear how this project came about. The Hartford Foundation has been partnering with the City of Hartford for the Love Your Block initiative for about 5 to 6 years. And this mural to me really embodies what Love Your Block is all about. It's really about celebrating the community and really creating the cultural vibrancy of the neighborhood. And I'm just so happy that I came out here today to spend time with you all and learn more about the project and how special it really is for everyone here. So thank you all for having me. It's been a pleasure getting to speak to some of you here today.
Thank you, Cynthia. We've mentioned many names who've all made this happen and make this mural possible for us. And we would be remiss if we didn't invite our friends at the Bushnell to share a word about what it means to be in neighborhood together. So David Fay, invite you to share a word as well.
Well, being a neighborhood is a marvelous thing down here, and as it's now growing I've been here 24 years, so staring at parking lots and government buildings, so it's nice to see this change taking place, and I think over the next decade it will be completed and be really quite different. But I have to admit something now. I actually, this year was my 50th year in the arts as a professional. Now I'm on the administration side, I don't do the art. And my wife often complains that I am not aware of my surroundings. And I say, I'm just busy. I get stuff in my mind. Well, I park in this parking lot every day. I walk by this every day. And over the last year or so, but particularly as the mural was getting finished, I honestly thought, they did something to the stonework. And I love the strawberry thing that they drew, but they did something to the stonework that kind of brings the spirit out that matches this. And I thought, that's great. And I'm, thinking of math and what's the next show and all these kinds of things. It literally was not until 30 minutes ago.
Wow, David.
I realized that's the mural. So I admit it. Don't tell my wife, please. But I congratulate all of you on there is truly something magical about this stone, and it is the spirit of the artists that lives in that and shows through. It's the spirit of this wonderful church and congregation that lives through. It's the growing spirit of this neighborhood and the great city that we live in. And so I thank you that I'm going to now realize and be smart and up to speed of what's going on next door. But we love having you as a great neighbor.
Thank you. Likewise. Friends, is it time to cut a ribbon? Yes. I need Nita and Maggie, my ribbon bearers, to come forward. And I'd like to invite all of you who can hear me to stand behind Aya. Aya, raise your hand. Let's imagine a line right here. If everybody can stand on this side of this line where Aya and I are standing, because we would love to take a group photo with the ribbon across the front of all of us gathered together today. A snapshot of this community. There's a lot of space over on this side, if folks can jump in. Delia, we need you. Chase, I'll get in there with you. Yeah.
Yeah, we need help with these giant scissors. Get in there.
Greg, come on over to this side. Melissa, we need you. We're very uneven on that side.
My group, this way, this way.
Okay, great.
All right. This way, there we go.
After today, we will be adding this plaque to the mural, which includes the artist's history, the name of the mural, and the year that we dedicated it, 2025. So I'd like to ask Chris to hold this plaque, and we'll have a photo op, and then we're going to count to 3 and cut this ribbon. Can you see people behind us? Yeah. All right, you guys, can you count us off for a picture? 1, 2, 3, cheese.
3, 2, 1.
It's happening. And now if everyone would turn 180 degrees around and face the mural, we're going to bless this beautiful creation all together. In the Christian tradition, we raise our right hand in the sign of blessing. So let's transfer that energy in this direction for this time. Holy God, bless this mural. May it be to our neighbors and to this community, to all who savor its intricate beauty, a symbol of your wondrous creation. From the tiniest seed to the ripest berry, from birth to death and every stage between. God, you blessed the artists who dreamed this, the people who saw a vision. You blessed them with a better and sweeter vision of what might be. So now grant that your work of sweet love and justice, grace and mercy be done. Gratitude extended, connection known, ties bound, that we all may be one. Amen. I hereby declare this mural is now blessed and dedicated. Friends, please stick around and enjoy our party until 6 o'clock.
I think I didn't.